Hello, and welcome to episode 10 of Movies and Us. I'm Marcus.
And I'm DJ.
And this is the review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning. Sometimes. And today, we're doing Howard the Duck.
See, you made it through. Good
Yay!
job.
Woo! I'm so proud of myself.
Except for the long pause you put there with the sometimes, but whatever.
I think that's funny. I think viewers will like it.
No, they won't.
I should have paused really long and then yelled into it, like they're just turning it up. No. Next time I'm gonna whisper. Next time, hello, welcome to Movies and Us. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, I mean, they already hate you, so what difference does it make?
Yeah, and I hate them. They're useless egg suckers. But okay. So today we're doing Howard the Duck. This movie is an hour and 15 minutes.
15? No, it's not. 50.
Yeah, it said 50. Hour 50. 50.
You said 15. I heard you trying to make this movie shorter than it was.
It should be shorter than it was. It was too long. Let's see. Okay. It stars... Well, it was directed by Willard Hayuk? How would you pronounce his name, TJ?
The way you just did.
Which one? The Hayuk?
Sure.
Cool. It stars Leah Thompson, Jeffrey Jones, Tim Robbins, and the man himself who played Howard the Duck, which is, forgetting his name real quick, it is Ed Gale.
It was also released in 1986 and written by Gloria Katz, along with Willard.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I forgot Gloria.
That's right. You were saying off screen, women don't matter, right?
No, women have equal parts in this world.
That's what you were saying.
Okay, I said what I said, okay? Hour 50 credits, Howard the Duck. Is that it from the opening, I think? Oh, box office, that's right. This glorious movie. It grossed 16 billion. Nope. It grossed 16 million in the United States and 21 million over the world, making a worldwide total of 37 million. And it would have cost like 32 million to produce.
Yeah, budget 32 million.
Yeah, so barely made its money back, so, that's not good signs.
So, as you can notice, Marcus is kind of running us through this one.
Yeah, so buckle up, egg suckers. This is my game now.
We'll see how long you last. From the last time we tried this, he bailed like halfway through.
I'm going to last all night long with my sensual voice. You beautiful people. The box office here for 1986. Number one was Top Gun. After that was Crocodile Dundee. Karate Kid. Well, Top Gun placed first at 76 million. That's a lot of money compared to Howard the Duck's measly 37. But whatever. But yeah, Top Gun, Crocodile Dundee, Karate Kid 2, Back to School, then Aliens are the top 5. Howard the Duck placed all the way down to 54, which isn't bad, honestly. But it's not the top 10.
Have we done a movie? Oh, I guess Superman was pretty popular, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have. Oh, you should be saying top tier. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. But yeah, that's the stats. There was nothing crazy behind the scenes that we looked into. So we start off in the great, far off world of Duck World, they call it.
We open up on a lake
in a world called Duck World.
Is that what it's called?
I think he says it one time in a movie called Duck World, which is stupid. We don't call this planet Human World. Why would you call it Duck World? It's so dumb. Whatever.
Did you notice that Duck World has 2 moons?
It was very Star Wars-esque. I noticed that.
George Lucas did produce it, I think.
Exactly. It was his idea, right?
Something like that. I don't know. I didn't look into it.
Anyway, we start off in a lake, I guess, in a city of the Duck City, whatever you want to call it. Zooms in and pans over, showing the whole city. No ducks yet, but then we get to his apartment, and they show...
Wait, get to whose apartment?
Oh, we're not there yet, because we don't know who it is yet. They're panning around, they see pictures of duck people with their... Let's talk about their designs real quick. What do you think of the duck outfit?
I mean, it's not bad.
It's not, right? The eyes are kind of creepy around that area, but overall, it's pretty legit for the 80s.
Yeah, it looks uncomfortable to wear.
Oh, see, I thought it'd be it looks comfortable to me, honestly.
I don't know.
Besides the head part, like the body parts seem pretty comfortable.
It looks hot.
Yeah, I can give you that. But I think most costumes for movies were hot back then, or even now, honestly.
Yeah, but that one looks particularly hot because of all the feathers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's got the plastic eyes and the beak and stuff.
Yeah, and the head looks heavy.
He almost looks animatronic now that I'm looking at it.
Oh, well, it is. Like the turtles, all the heads are animatronics with the eye movements and mouth movements.
No, like he looks like he is a robot.
Oh, him himself?
Yeah, the whole Alf thing.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Like the way he moved or the way he looks?
No, that's the way he looks. He moves pretty good for that outfit.
Yeah, he moves like very freely. Like he had no issues at all wearing the bottom part.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting back to his apartment. We're just panning over the house and all that. It's a little apartment. It's a human looking. There's nothing different besides all the duck posters, duck movies.
Yeah, it's our world except ducks are the natural or the evolutionary species that took over.
Yes, everything's exactly the same except for the punny movie type posters. Do you know what they were called at all?
No, the only thing I noticed was that he was reading a play duck.
Yeah, well,
I did notice an Indiana Jones poster, but I didn't catch the name of it.
No, I caught the names of these things. Before we get to the play duck, let's talk. There's My Little Chickadee. There's which I don't know what that one is, but there's an Indiana Jones called Breeders. I think it's called Breeders of the Lost Stork, because that's funny. And
hey, I've been doing duck puns all day, and they are hilarious.
Oh, I got your text, and they were perfect for the movie. Let's say that. What else is there?
They were a lark.
Boo. Okay. But then we got to him sitting down watching TV. He's flipping through channels, and it's just all these duck commercials and channels, I guess, for Duck World. And then we pan to Howard the Duck himself smoking a cigar.
Come on, you gave a hoot.
Man, are you proud of yourself? Do you want to review this movie for me?
No, I like sitting back and not having to do the work for a change.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You put your little 2 cents in once in a while.
Exactly. I can do duck puns.
Oh, man. But yeah, he's sitting on a chair, flipping through the TV, and then we get to the Play Duck magazine. I remember hearing about the duck boobies in this movie, but I didn't know it was going to be so soon. What were we at, like 5 minutes into this movie, and he's already seeing duck boobs?
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's cute. But okay, his chair starts rumbling, and you think it's because of the duck nudity. No. And then he gets sucked backwards, him and chair and all, through the walls of his apartment, I guess apartment next over, which, I don't know why, but always in the 80s and 90s, whenever something was happening in apartments, you always go to someone else's apartment. It's always 2 elderly people in bed together.
It's an unidentified flying duck. In a flying chair.
I hate you. He flies backwards through there.
Hold on. It's a UFD. I didn't finish.
You got more?
Nope. That was a UFD. You were good. Did
you write them all down?
No.
Oh, okay.
So these are all off the top of my head.
But yeah, he flies through backwards through these these walls. First is a couple together laying in bed, older couple. Then to a duck lady in her prime, in a bathtub.
Yeah, you get duck tits.
Yeah, well, she was singing something like "I'm So Lovely" or something like that, right?
Yeah, with her duck tits.
Yeah, I guess with duck boobies.
Nope, my way's better.
Is she pleasuring herself? Oh God, this movie. See, okay,
she was scrubbing her back, I think.
Now her hand was somewhere else, a bottle of wine in her hand, a glass of wine in her other hand. But okay, before we go further, this movie I feel like has an identity crisis, like what it wants to be.
I just felt the Duck World was raunchy.
It's very raunchy, but then once you get to our world, it's very goofy.
Cut back. The comic adaptation of this cut most of that raunchy stuff out of it.
Really?
Yeah, like the duck tits aren't in it or anything.
Makes sense.
The played duck is, but they didn't show anything.
Okay.
And I mean, a little later when we get to the main girl, they show her in her underwear a lot.
In the movie or in the comic?
In the movie,
yeah.
But in the comic, she has a shirt that comes down and covers most of her, just showing her legs and stuff. So the comic was way more conservative than the movie was.
I wonder why, because comics back then in the 80s were very or was this during the period with the whole drug issue and all that kind of stuff?
It was still early 80s, I think, so. Or mid 80s. So, I mean, it was getting to that point where we're getting darker and darker, but it was still comics were still a little bit, and it was Marvel Comics, so who knows? Maybe they just didn't want to make it as raunchy as the movie was. Okay,
that makes sense. Okay, we'll go back to the movie review. Yeah, he's flying through his apartment complex, and then he ends up in Outer space.
Howard in space.
Howard in space. A UFD indeed. And I just, flying through space, no protection at all. He's surviving because, and he gets into our galaxy and into our Earth.
Yeah, he flies through space and can breathe and stuff.
It's weird, but then there's like a narration over top of it, I believe, right? I don't know what the guy said, but it wasn't that important.
No, but he goes through a portal in his world and goes through like this green tube portal thing to our world. So yeah.
Yep, he crash lands in the alley, and this is where the fun begins. And he crash lands on the alley in our world.
He ends up in Cleveland.
Yes, Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland, Ohio, right? That's where it's at. I don't know.
Cleveland, yeah. That's a big thing in the comics with Howard. I read a few of the earlier issues, and when he ends up in our world, he's like Cleveland. And what a horrible name, Cleve. They're Cleveland. It's a Cleveland.
Oh my goodness, that's stupid. Man, that's dumb.
They're Cleveland people in Cleveland.
So he lands in Cleveland, and some 80 punks just start messing with him. They're not even fazed by what he looks like or who he is. They just see a duck sitting in a comfy chair.
Oh, this Cleveland setting is so 80s. It's a time capsule of the 80s, man.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. This movie is a product of its time to the T. From the hairstyles to the clothes, everything about the 80s is in this movie.
I mean, and hijinks ensue with Howard here, man.
These 80s movies punk, because no punks are like that in real life, I would assume. I was born in the 80s.
You don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't then.
I was there. I was like 6, but actually, when this came out, I was 2.
2. I was negative. Yeah, they start, he gets, passed around, through 20 adults in this club he's at. And then one guy...
They take him from the alley. They pick him up and they shove him this guy in the club and say, "Hey, we found you a date." In the club, the band Cherry Bomb's playing.
Well, no, not yet, man.
You said in the club.
Yeah, but this guy gets to him first, the bouncer, and he says to him, there's a lot of the movie, a lot of people are quippy, but they're quiet quipping to themselves, which is weird. But he says, what's up?
Here's the thing. The comics were satirical, very satirical in nature.
Yes.
So, it was a bunch of weird things and, there was, a vampire cow in the second issue and stuff like that. So it was very campy and very comic-y and very, a knock on different genres and stuff like that. So the quips make sense.
Oh, for sure. I'm not against that. Were the comics graphic at all, though? Were they raunchy, how the early minutes of this movie were?
From what I read, not really. I mean, they were, him being the only one being, looked down on and being racist against, essentially. There's a bunch of allegories and stuff in it, obviously. Lots. And, like I said, there's a vampire cow, so he's trying to solve the murders that the cow's killing so he can fit into the world, and that's his story and stuff like that.
That's what I was saying. This movie, I feel, has an identity crisis. From going raunchy to... And it's trying to be quippy. It's trying to be that campiness, but it's not pulling it off. And it doesn't for me in this movie. But we'll get to more of that later. But yeah, this man picks the Tower of the Duck up, the bouncer, and he says, "Costume or not, I know what a child looks like." Then proceeds to go to the back and throws the kid out the window, out the door, thinking it's a kid. Why are you chucking this person outside, so roughly? And he ends up landing in some homeless lady's trash pile, I guess. And she shoos him away. And they cut back to the venue, and there's Cherry Bomb playing. That's the band that's playing.
They were playing while he was getting pushed through, too.
Yeah, true. But you kind of see the main singer, and her name is...
Beverly,
thank you. He says her name a lot in the show. I don't know why I forgot that name. Beverly.
But before we cut back to that, Howard hides in a barrel.
Yeah. After bumping in... What's up?
I only mention it because he jumps in the barrel, and then he's like... You know how in cartoons and stuff, they slowly put the lid over himself?
Yes.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why, that made me laugh.
Did it really?
Yeah. It was so stupid and so comic and so cliched, but I was just seeing him, after everything he's went through, get in this barrel and just slowly pull the lid over it and say, "I'm living here now." It made me laugh.
I love you. That's great. This movie jumps back and forth in this section from the singer to Howard Duck. Howard experiences this role for the first time. So before he gets in the barrel, he meets a couple making out. He bumps into them by accident. Then he meets a biker group called Satan's Sluts, I think they were called.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, they were like, okay, that's why not? And he's just meeting everybody. And I do see the barrel scene. It's funny. And he gets in his barrel. And then Beverly, after the concert is over, after her gig is up, she walks out. And of course, like every comic movie ever, like every movie ever apparently at this time period, she gets harassed by two punk gangsters in the 80s.
We get cartoon rapists.
Yes, this is fun. And they try to have their way with her. Well, I like it about her. She actually puts up a good fight.
Well, I mean, her hero's a duck. She's got to be able to take care of herself a little bit.
Yeah. But then he jumps out of his barrel saying, I'm a master of duck foo.
Quack foo.
So,
and he does mention it in the comics.
So is that a thing?
So here's the thing. In one of the comics, they go to a movie, right? And it's a karate, like, samurai movie. And then everybody, when they come out of the movie, all the kids are, like, pretending to know kung fu and stuff when they're fighting.
Okay.
And Howard's surly and he has a short temper and he's mad that these kids are, about the kids and stuff like that. So they go to this diner and the one kid that was pretending to hit Howard earlier gets thrown through a window and there's this master of actual kung fu or something like that comes in and starts beating the crap out of him and ends up stabbing the kid.
Jesus.
And he actually ends up dying at the end of the issue, the kid.
Wow, that's dark. That is really graphic.
Meanwhile, Howard is, for some reason, Beverly and Howard split up, I don't remember. And Howard goes into a shop and sees a comic book of Daffy Duck. And he's like, why are these stereotypes about ducks and stuff like that? I don't know why I'm explaining this issue so thoroughly.
You really are. I'm joining this. But
he does it. And then he sees an ad in there. Come to this place and we'll teach you how to do kung fu or whatever. So he walks around the corner, ends up back at the same spot, but it's a different shop. It's a place. So he goes in and this mentor guy teaches him how to do kung fu in like one night. And it's like a dream thing in his head. So he learns how to do quack fu in one night.
I don't know what to say to that.
And then he goes and ends up beating up the guy that killed the kid and by eventually throwing him off top of a construction site. Well, actually, the guy ends up accidentally throwing himself off. But, after hanging Beverly from a crane and threatening to drop her down. But yeah, so he's interested in the love interest. We meet the love interest, Beverly, which this is how they meet here. This is not how they meet in the comics.
Okay, I was going to say, you brought her name up in the comics. Are most of these characters in this movie in the comics? Like, how faithful is this movie to the comics?
Not at all.
Not okay. Is he still a fish out of water in the comics, or is he mostly?
Oh yeah,
okay.
No, he's definitely a fish out of comics. But he meets Beverly because he gets. I don't remember why, but he gets in the first issue of his solo series because he was actually. I'm just gonna get the comic facts out of the way now.
Thank you.
But so he was first. His first issue is Adventure into Fear number 19. It's a Man-Thing story.
Is Man-Thing a creature?
Man-Thing is the Marvel Comics equivalent of Swamp Thing.
Okay.
But, so, he appears in there, and I didn't really read the comic because I was not interested in the Man-Thing, and he's just, like, I just read the Howard parts. But he, like, shows up because, like, the worlds are, like, combining, and there's a bunch of medieval and fantasy characters all around. And they end up saving the world, and then Howard gets thrown into space, and then ends up in our world in his own solo series. And then, the first issue is him meeting a bunch of kids, and then there's a person sitting up in a windowsill for weeks, apparently, and then he drinks a person that turns into a giant frog. He turns into a giant frog, and then as everyone runs away and go to get the cops, the frog eventually turns into a regular frog, and then Howard squashes him and kills him. But then the cops come and arrest him because they think he's the one that was causing trouble.
Oh, okay. So that must be a common thread.
So yeah, and then the next issue was back Cal, I think. And then he gets lost or something and ends up at this tower. And he was like, oh no, I forgot. He's so upset at this point, at this world not seeing fitting in. He's contemplating committing suicide. So he finds this tower and starts climbing it. He says, I might as well climb to the tower, but even suicide takes work in this world. He climbs up the tower, and inside is Beverly in like a medieval bikini.
So this comic's definitely not for kids then.
No.
Okay.
No, and she was captured by this wizard who's an accountant. And his powers, he figured out how to use the numbers and math to get the perfect way to get into a portal to get something or another. But he found her in a tower. They eventually are rescued by Spider-Man.
What the hell? What's going on?
It's hard to explain, but it's nothing like this. That's all I was trying to get at.
You seem like you really enjoyed the comics, though.
I read them. They weren't bad. I mean, there's a lot of... It's slow a lot of the time.
Oh, okay.
It's like a lot of him just complaining about stuff, too.
Yeah, that's his big thing in this movie, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're not the worst things I've ever read. But, I mean, they're crazy, though. So, I didn't really think about how crazy they were until I started explaining the plot to them.
I could hear it in your voice is slowly hitting you. Like, this is kind of insane.
Yeah, I mean, but he had, like, 2 series in the 70s, Howard. And
is he still making stuff? Or not, is he making but is he still in comics?
His last series was in 2016, I think.
Wow, really?
Yeah. But he had 2 series in the 70s. And then he would disappear. He showed up for a while. He showed up in a couple of issues of She-Hulk before they brought him back in, I'm looking at it, 1986, I think it was.
Okay.
No. That's a She-Hulk, or a Marvel Super Special number 41. Yeah. And then in 96, he showed back up in Spider-Man Team Up. And then he showed up again in his own series in the 2001, I think.
Wow, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. The comic history is usually more interesting than...
Yeah. But I guess he's such like a small character.
Yeah, but, he was created by... I remember the guy's name, but he left Marvel at one point, and I don't know if you know who Savage Dragon is.
No.
Well, Savage Dragon is like an Image Comics original creator, and he created him too. And he tried to do like a crossover at one point. There's a lot of history you should dive into if you're really interested in Howard.
The things you just said, I am more interested to him. This movie didn't pique my interest at all, my curiosity.
Yeah, but now that all the comic tidbits are away, we can focus on the movie and get it done.
Yay! So back to the rape and how we're saving her. He goes with his what's called Quack Fu.
Yep, Quack Fu.
He goes with his Quack Fu and starts beating the crap out of these punk, gangster, hoodlum guys. Of course, Beverly helps out because she's not a damsel at all. And after he beats them up and they run away, they have to him and Beverly have a little scene. She's a little freaked out seeing him, and she wants to leave and leave him in the rain. Then
she starts to feel bad.
Yeah, has some sympathy for the devil, the duck.
And she takes him home with her.
Yeah. So yeah, he gets back. She takes her to her apartment. Is it an abandoned building? What is it?
It looks like a warehouse.
Okay, so I've always had a question about movies like this. If it's in a warehouse, how is she getting energy? Because it looks like it's abandoned.
I don't know. I have no idea. I know she was given the apartment by her manager, so.
Okay, I guess I didn't
or the manager helped her get it or something. I don't know.
Oh, the band manager.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they get to her apartment. It's a big-ass apartment, and it has all her stuff in it. She shows Howard the place, and she just gets to learn him, ask him questions. He said he went to med school. Now, again, after this is in the comics, I'm going to ask you, did he go to med school in the comics? Was he a dropout? Was he a songwriter and construction worker, and then an advertiser, copywriter? Was he any of that stuff in the comics from what you know?
I will read to you.
You have it. I hear you getting it. Okay, what are you going to read to me?
I'm going to read to you the opening of every 1976 Howard the Duck issue.
So you're saying they all open the same way?
They have a little thing at the top.
Okay.
At the beginning of each one. Maybe it's not issue 2. Maybe it's a little further. Hold on. I'm finding it. There it goes. It's the 3rd issue. It says, From the time of his hatching, he was different, a potentially brilliant scholar who dreaded the structure and environment of school. He educated himself in the streets, taking whatever work was available, formulating his philosophy of self from what he learned of the world about him. And then, the comics axis shifted, and that world changed. Suddenly, he's stranded in a universe he could not fathom without warning. He became a strange fowl in an even stranger land. Stanley presents Howard the Duck.
This is a Stan Lee book?
Stanley always presented all the Marvel comics from the 70s and stuff.
So was he like a producer back then? Like from comics? Like what's that make him?
It's a long... This is a movie review,
Yeah, you're right.
And I don't want to go into the comic history of Stan Lee.
Yeah,
check out my other comic podcast if you want to listen to comic stuff.
So yeah, she shows him around the apartment, blah, blah, blah. He asks for a beer. It's a big beer. He sits down in the chair, and the chair starts shaking again.
Howard's got PTSD, oh no!
Oh no, he freaks out, makes a scene, falls off the chair, and it's just a big truck going by. He's like, oh yeah, it's a truck. Well, his eyes were...
I don't think a truck's going to make her whole apartment shake like that.
No,
okay.
I would have freaked too, honestly. But yeah, for a second, we see Howard the Duck like quivering. It's like, ooh, this could be a good plot thread to have in a movie. But no, it's not. It doesn't last long. It just end that second. So yeah, Howard the Duck passes out. And she creeps around, goes through his wallet to learn more about him in a weird way. So she sees a family picture of him and his mom and dad, I think it is. Then I wrote down my notes, she goes to see duck bills, because there's dollar bills with President Ducks on them. And then there's this little condom.
Only I am allowed to do the puns.
Fine. Say the pun then. Do it for me.
Nope, you ruined it.
Fine. So it was a good pun, and you didn't think of it. But then she pulls out a condom.
It's not good unless I think about it.
She pulls out a condom, and it's a tiny little thing, and it's not even in the wrapper. It's just by itself.
She didn't seem too bothered by it either.
No, she's like, Howard, you perv. I think she says in it. Like, that's your reaction?
No, she doesn't even go perv.
What?
She didn't even say perv. She just says, oh, Howard.
That's what it is. But then they cuts to the next day, and they're in a taxi cab, and it's Howard the Duck sitting in a trash bag, because that's his disguise.
No. You need to explain that a little better. How they didn't want him to be, because everyone's saying, "Hey, you're a duck," so she's dragging him in a trash bag.
Yes,
and it looks like she's dragging a body.
Yeah, because he's not quiet. He's moving around. He's talking, making Howard the Duck puns. Like, come on, man! If you're trying to be in this guy, shut up about it at least. This is the best you can do. And everyone's checking him out. And she's on her way to a scientist at a university, or a museum, I'm sorry.
Tim Robbins, scientist.
Yeah, well, my thing is everyone knows a scientist for some reason in these movies. But yeah, it's Tim Robbins, a young Tim Robbins. Like, I almost didn't recognize him.
He's not an actual scientist, though. He's like an intern or something.
Yeah, scientist intern. He's over the top. He's like really goofy. He's very, what would you describe him?
I don't know his name as his character name, but I know it's Tim Robbins, scientist. That's what he is. He's Tim Robbins, scientist.
What's his name in the movies? Phil? Phil?
No, his name's Tim Robbins, scientist.
You call it what you want. Yeah, he tries to do experiments on Howard, and he's trying to like see who he is and where he came from, and blah blah blah. He's like the only person in this movie who's acting how I would act. So everyone's like, "Oh, it's a duck man." Like, he's like, "What the hell are you? Where'd you come from?"
He also wants to get rich off of him.
I mean, I would be the same way, honestly.
Where everyone else is kind of like running away and scared of him and stuff.
He's doing it right. He's trying to make money off of this thing. But yeah, Howard the Duck's offended by Tim Robbins' character because he realizes he's not even a real scientist. He's just there to exploit him. And this is where him and Beverly have a little falling out, right?
Yep, and they go their separate ways.
Yeah, and I wrote down, like, this happens 26 minutes into the movie. He's like, wow, this is surprising. That's pretty early in the movie. Because usually it takes around 40 minutes for that plot to go through. But yeah, he goes his way, she goes her way. He goes to find a shelter, food, and a job.
So was this the second movie in a row? No, it's not the second movie in a row. But this is the second movie that we ended up in an unemployment office.
What was the movie? Supergirl was before this, right?
Yeah, Superman 3 was the unemployment office.
Yes. Which is weird, right? It must have been like a thing in the 80s.
Yeah, I guess.
Because he ends up at I don't remember her name, but she's like really on him about like, I'm used to seeing people like you trying to get out of this. And like, he's like, what, my clothes? No, this makeup you have on. I'm going to find, she's like really angry and nagging him about it. Like, I'm going to make you find a job.
Pronouns, you need to actually explain who you're talking about.
I don't know her name. That's what I'm saying. She is
the unemployment officer in charge of getting him a job. You know, you need to explain that. You don't need to know her name. You got to explain who she is, though.
Well,
No one knows who she is.
Well, they should pick it up by being smart, okay? I can't spoon feed these egg suckers, TJ, okay? Exactly. So there's an employment officer, I guess her name, who she would be, her title?
I guess. That's what I came up with.
Yeah. So she's trying to find him a job. She turns around, bends over, and finds a job for him. Mm-hmm. He's angry at her for making fun of him. He goes in to bite her butt, and she swipes around just in time to hand him the certificates right into his beak. And after that little scene cuts to him at his job. He's at a bathhouse. It's a bathhouse, I guess you would call this, right?
Is that what this place is? It looked like a disgusting place, though.
Oh, yeah. I would call this a bathhouse just because, it's a dark rooms with, like, neon lights, baths everywhere, and just people having sex. Not having sex, but they're just on top of each other from one room to another.
Well, they're implying that they are.
Yes.
This whole scene was pretty much cut out from the movie adaptation. It was like one panel.
Oh, the comic adaptation?
Yeah, like it had one panel of two people kissing and then him getting thrown into water, but you'll get to that.
But yeah, as he's passing out towels and I think some other supplies, his boss is just berating him for being a weirdo and a little dude and McDuck. He says something, but I forget what he says. And Howard doesn't take kindly to it, apparently. And so when the guy is cleaning up the room because Howard didn't do it, Howard just pushes him. Oh, wait.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Okay. I just talked to myself out of it. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, that's a little more than that.
Yeah, why did he get angry at Howard then?
He was just being a jerk boss. And Howard's kind of lazy.
Howard's not that. He doesn't seem that lazy, though, in the movie. He's an asshole for sure. He used to seem like a bum.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah.
It doesn't matter, though.
So, yeah, the boss berates Howard. Howard doesn't like it. Then he picks up Howard, the boss, picks up Howard and throws him into the pool.
To clean it, yeah.
Yeah, and Howard says as he's throwing in, I can't swim. Like, I can't swim, that's cute. Sorry. And then Howard has his revenge on the boss by pushing him into a mud bath, I guess.
Is that what that was? It looked like a septic tank. I was like, what the hell is this thing doing in here?
I'm guessing it's a bathhouse with mud baths in it.
Oh, okay.
That makes
more sense. Because when he puts him in, I was like, what is this thing? But he's like, didn't he ask Howard to clean it or whatever?
Yeah, well, there's like bras in it, so I guess they're like just, human liquids in it, I guess.
I guess. But I don't know how you clean that out of mud.
But yeah, he gets his recognition. Like, I quit, boss man. And yeah, he ends up on a bus home.
So in my notes, I wrote duck hunting for some reason.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what it references, though.
I'm getting to it, man. Jesus. Now, he ends up on a bus. He ends up on a bus and walks off.
He ends up as a boss.
Boss duck hunter. This movie. He ends up on the bus, walks off, and people are like, duck man, He's like, yeah, whatever. It gives him like the FU sign and all that, goes off. And he walks past displays cases of TVs, and like for some reason they're all displaying the duck season's open again. And this is the duck hunt thing you saw.
I was wondering why I wrote duck hunting.
Yeah. And for some reason in this movie they make a big deal about duck season because Howard the Duck.
Wasn't there Daffy Duck cartoons playing too?
Yep, there's Daffy Duck cartoons playing. There's Duckaroni commercials.
That story was very thematic with its TV settings.
Yes, it was. And he was getting, again, PTSD, he's getting worried. Like, oh, man, they're coming after me. And the truck, like, backfires, and he thinks it's gunshots, so he just runs away. And he ends up back at his sofa, his chair. At this chair, he ends up back around, hit the what'd you call it, a bar? A music venue? A music venue.
The club.
Club?
Yeah. Is that why I wrote Howard Takes in a Show?
Yes, because he walks his way into the club.
He waddles his way in.
Nope. I don't like that. He walks his way back into the club, and there they are, a cherry bomb. And his friend Beverly singing a song. And apparently she's singing a really sad song. As he walks in, they make eye contact. He's like, oh man, this is too sad. She just stops. It's like, we should make it like up-tempo kind of song, upbeat song. And they start playing. So Howard goes to the bar. So yes, he sees the manager talking to some goons about how bad he treats Beverly. He doesn't really treat her that bad. He wants her for sex, essentially. And, like, he doesn't want to pay her, so he's going to take the money. The club owners, that's what they are. The club owners are to give that for the band, for himself.
So, the club owners and the manager are cartoon characters.
Everyone in this movie is cartoon characters.
Yeah, but these were particularly cartoon characters.
Oh, in the book?
No, I mean, like, these were overly cartoon characters. These were, like, evil cartoon characters.
Howard sits down next to him and starts threatening, hey, man, you better pay Beverly or we're going to have issues. And then, they're freaked out by him because A, he's a duck, and B, they don't take him seriously. The manager picks Howard the Duck up and throws him across the bar top. And then this little fight ensues.
Bar fight! Or is it a quack fight?
Yeah, so they have the bar fight, and Howard puts up a good fight, bottles across someone's face, and then he gets the manager down in a headlock and pulls out the icicle. He stabs it in between the manager's earring, so that manager's kind of stuck there, and Howard pursues to threaten him, takes the money, and makes sure the manager doesn't ever manage the girls again. And the guys still want to fight, and he mentions, I got space rabies. It's very contagious, very painful, blah, 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 blah. And he walks away. And
he waddled away.
He meets up with Cherry Bombs. He meets up with them at the dressing room.
Their dressing room, yeah.
Yeah. And he's just going over. They're all like, oh, so you do exist. And when I say they his Beverly's bandmates. Yeah, apparently she told him about him, but they didn't believe her until now. Tim Robbins pops in, and he's so ecstatic to see Howard the Duck there again. And he brings it to Howard's like, I've been talking to more people about you, and I talked to some guys, and apparently he says the Aztecs are from Mars, that guy. So he says, yeah, you are from somewhere out of space too. He goes to examine what pizza is, because apparently, even though their planet is just like our planet, they have no idea what pizza is. Yeah, so they have the conversation, they walk out.
Howard and Beverly make up.
How they make up?
They make up and then they go back to her apartment. They're friends again.
I would say, yeah, but like, I guess they make up because they fought off Tim Robbins, because Tim Robbins being weird again.
I don't know, it was a quick scene.
Oh yeah, Tim Robbins plucks out the feathers.
Yeah, he was plucking up feathers, right? Yeah. Also, Tim Robbins is dating one of the members of Cherry Bomb.
But yeah, they end up back at Beverly's place, and Howard is seen playing with the piano. And he starts making music. He starts playing some duck song he has.
So I wrote sexual predator for some reason.
Oh yeah, there is. Because this is a sequence where Beverly's in her underwear, so she goes to bed, she fights in the bed, and Howard's like, Howard being a playboy, tries to hit on her. And it backfires on him because she plays with him and hits on him back. Oh, yeah,
this is where we get the weird sex thing that's happening.
Yes. So they hit on each other. Howard gets uncomfortable now because he's not used to some lady hitting on him back. So I'm guessing he's like not a virgin, but he's like very not women-friendly.
Well, no, he seemed to be a play duck in his world, but this is a human girl, so it's kind of weird.
Okay, well, I was just figuring that's like a comic. I was a thread in the comics that he wasn't a ladies' man at all. He just plays it up like he is.
They don't even mention it.
Okay. Well, she teases him. He gets his feathers all happy, and he gets a duck mohawk.
And she's in her underwear and barely wearing a shirt. It's kind of weird.
Well, yeah, they kiss, the lights off, and while they're kissing, Tim Robbins and his scientist pals walk in on them, because why not?
His band of waddled scientists.
What'd you call them?
They waddled in.
You're liking this part, aren't you? This
what
role.
Part?
The role of being sidekick.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they bring over a VHS and show them what happened and why Howard's here. The main scientist, Jennings, describing they were testing a big laser, and something happened where he got bumped into, and the laser moved, and it tracked Howard over instead of doing something else. And that's why he's here.
Yeah, because of a failed science experiment.
A failed?
I said a failed. But, foul. Get it?
As they're talking, they decide this is Howard's way back, because he actually asked them an important question. Can't you just reverse it and send me back? I mean, apparently scientists never thought they'd reverse it on them, because, scientists don't think like that.
Because they're foul.
He's so funny. So they're on the way to the science lab, and they show up, and there's no guard at station, and it's weird. So they drive on through, and there's no guards anywhere, there's no security, so they walk on in, like, what's going on? And then apparently when they open the door to the facility, some guy's just burnt up face falls to Howard and says, I forget, he says something profound, like, we should never tempted fate, and blah, blah, yada, yada, gets up and slowly walks away, is like, stunned. Like, that was kind of graphic for this movie. And they open the door and they see just this facility in chaos and mayhem because the machine is destroyed yet again.
Yeah, Jennings blowed up.
Jennings. They asked to see where Jennings is. And like, well, you see, he was behind the machine. And the machine, kind of went boom. And we can't find him. Like, wow, that's crazy. And then the police show up. And for some reason, I didn't get it, but like they start harassing Howard. I guess because he's a duck, obviously, but they start harassing him.
They're pretty evil cops.
They harass Howard. They strip him down to his underwear to see like if he's wearing a costume. If he's not wearing a costume, he's Howard the Duck. They're like, well, what is he? Like, what should we do with him? And the main detective cop says, we should arrest him for being an illegal alien. And I rolled my eyes so hard.
An illegal duckian.
But yeah, they're harassing. So they take Howard into custody, and they walk past a break room or something, and Howard's cigar is lit. And he's like, hey, my cigar, can I smoke it one time or something? And the cop's like, yeah, sure, duck, whatever. And Howard does it, throws it in the officer's face, and pushes him into a trash can. His girl, Beverly, takes the cop's gun, holds him at gunpoint, and you know what to do. Uncuff him and everything. But yeah, they have Tim Robbins' character cuffed too. Why are the cops here? Why are they arresting everybody?
Because don't you know that it's illegal?
What's wrong with you? Do you enjoy seeing me in pain? So yeah, Howard
as Marcus, as long as it's not too much of a burden.
Oh man.
Howard is unpheasant and Hawkward. We're cracking up.
You say quacking up?
I said cracking up, eggs.
No, you gotta quack up, like a quack. Come on,
don't interfere with my puns. Get back to the review.
Whatever, bird brain. Beverly and Howard are hiding from the cops. They head back into the main facility for some reason, where all the cops are, and they run into Jennings. He's alive, ladies and gentlemen. He's alive.
Yeah, and he's stork raven mad.
And Jennings is acting weird. He's very discombobulated. And so they decide to take him to his car and they let him, this man who just exploded, drive the vehicle because
they're trying to get away from the cops and it was his car.
Hey, but like have someone else drive it. Like why he's obviously like not in his right mind space. Why are you having him drive?
Well, maybe because Howard's a duck and he can't drive.
But what about Beverly?
No, she's only 16. She doesn't have her license.
Is she 16?
I don't know.
Oh, God, I was like, Jesus Christ, why did they never mention that at all? That's extra creepy then. But yeah, Jennings drives, and he's having his little meltdown issue. He's dying in the car. He's, like, not monologuing. He's just stating everything that's happening to him. Like, he's dying, and there's something growing inside of him, an evil being from another world growing inside of him. What are they called? Dark? Oh, no, okay, got it. They're called Dark Overlords, and they talk like this, so because he's just, they're bad dudes, and but yeah, he's dying, and so he's freaking out, and chaos ensues, and they crash into a building, and it's called Asian Sushi. Because
it's so stupid, like my puns.
And they're totally ignoring this Jennings, like he's literally just saying everything's happening. I am dead, I'm no longer Jennings, I am Dark Overlord. And like they're like, yeah, whatever, you need to relax, get something in your stomach. Come on, buddy. And
no,
what?
He's the Dark Overlord of the universe.
Yes, but they totally put the rubber off and like, yeah, come get a drink, come eat some food. And they walk in.
Essentially, he's a demon, I think they explain, right? They're demons from a different plane or something.
Yeah, but not really. Are they? Would you consider that a demon though?
I think they call themselves demons. I think he says demons.
But like in the sense of our world, like that's not a demon though, right?
I don't know. Help us quack the case. That was poultry emotion. And I have no egrets.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying that.
I had to entertain myself somehow. This movie wasn't doing it.
So yeah, they're at this restaurant that's called Cajun Sushi, and apparently, like it's a white town. And this restaurant, it's a diner, and they're all white people wearing just diner clothing, except they have Asian headbands on. That should be the reaction exactly.
I was so focused on the fact that the humans were being jerks to Howard, but yet they're the ones about to murder him.
Oh my gosh. This whole sequence in this diner Cajun sushi place it felt like so weird.
It felt like one of those cartoons where the chef is trying to kill the anthropomorphic animal by chopping his head off.
Because no one likes him in the first place, but they're not like approaching him yet. But he's being weird.
He's not likable, so...
So Jennings, like, is a Dark Overlord now. He's demonstrating his powers by, like, blowing stuff up with his eyes. Like, see, I am with what I am. But for some reason, no one else knows but the people at the table, Howard and Beverly. Then a waitress comes up, serves them their food, and Howard has a little mini freak out because his dish has eggs.
Yeah, he's not a cannibal. God!
He says that, but, like, come on. I've seen birds eat eggs, so come on. How far-fetched is it? And then Jennings pulls out the mother box. Or, no, it's called...
Did you call it a mother box?
I did. What's this thing?
Why?
That's what it is. What is this thing?
But what's a mother box to you?
The one from DC?
Oh, okay. I was just saying no, because that's an actual comic term. I didn't think you knew anything about comics.
I'm watching Young Justice right now.
So, in the restaurant, we get our product placement as Heinz Mustard and Ketchup is on full display.
Yes. They make mustard?
Apparently, I didn't know that either, but maybe they did it in the 80s and stopped.
But yeah, he shows off the mother box or something. And as he's going to put it away, these, again, more goons come up to the table to harass Howard. Not even, no. They're not even harassing Howard. They're coming up to the table to hit on the girl for some reason. Like, hey, what's up, lady? Because people. And
maybe they just think Howard. They say they thought Howard was a kid in a costume or something.
No, they thought he was a dummy, and they thought the guy Jennings was the ventriloquist. And there's little banter between all these people, and like the main goon, big buffoon dude, takes the I'm calling it a mother box. Takes the mother box and put it into his shirt pocket, and that upsets Jennings, but not enough for him to move because he's not at full power yet.
He was not amused.
But they have a little fight, and they get Howard the Duck gets back on top of the counters again, and runs amok, and people are like freaking out. Family leaves because they're like, let's get out of here. A fight happens, and blah 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 blah. And they take Howard. Everyone in the bar who stayed take Howard. What's up?
So everybody in this world is cartoonish, over the top villains.
Yes, there's no one likable in this movie besides the main characters.
Yeah,
and even then, like only two of the characters are likable. Everyone else is like, kind of suck.
And then isn't this where the Dark Overlord kidnaps Beverly?
Yeah, right after they tried to attempt to saute and cook out. Why are they cooking this thing? It's talking. It's so like wrong.
But he's still a duck.
He's sentient.
He probably tastes delicious.
If dogs could talk, I think less people would eat them.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Wait, what?
What?
People who eats dogs?
People do eat dogs, that's for sure. It's a thing. It's an animal. People eat animals. But I feel like if dogs could talk, less people who eat dogs would definitely eat them less now, right?
Well, this is Hawkward.
Jennings goes to save Howard because he's his ally kind of thing. And he's got the mother box. And so he uses his powers, Jennings, to levitate a butcher's knife and attack everyone with it and save Howard. Everyone leaves the diner besides Jennings, Beverly, and Howard, the main characters. And he uses his powers. He's got telekinesis. And he closes the doors and throws tables in front of them so they can't leave, Howard and Elizabeth. No, what's her name?
Beverly.
Beverly. Keep on calling Elizabeth for some reason. Beverly. And so he levitates Howard, kidnaps Beverly, and escapes or gets to a big rig truck. And he goes to escape. Howard tries to stop him. The truck's too big, so Howard just lays down and the truck rolls right over him. And Jenny thinks he's dead. Not
you
Jenny.
Still didn't explain why he wants Beverly.
Because he doesn't say this part yet. He says it later, not right now. I'm getting to it. I'll do it your way, though. But the reason why he steals her because he wants to impregnate her and put his demon child. No, I'm kidding. He takes Beverly because he says she's a vessel for his plan for his other Dark Overlord brothers to come down and take over, right?
He wants her to be a chirp off the old block.
And honestly, during this scene, while I was watching this, the segment, okay, I'm going to take a nap because this is where you texted me, actually, thinking about it. This movie was like, this movie's going. I checked the time, okay, we've got 10 minutes left. And I still have 40 minutes left of this movie. There's no way I want to sit through this without taking a nap.
How is there 40 minutes left at that point? There's only a chase scene left.
But see, that chase scene's so long, like every other comic book movie so far. It was long and unnecessary. Jennings has Beverly. And somehow Robbins' character, Tim Robbins, shows up in a cop car.
He was arrested.
Yeah, but like, how's
And
like...
they brought them from the last scene. They were arresting everyone at the science place. They arrested Howard and Tim Robbins.
Yes.
And so they handcuffed them, put them in, but then they got the call to go over to the sushi place because they didn't have time to drop them off at the station yet.
Okay, well, question. Like, aren't there more cops in this town?
Not really. It's Cleveland.
Cleveland's a big place, isn't it? City, state, country, whatever it's called.
Yeah, but you don't need the police. They don't need police there. Why don't need police there?
Yeah, the movie's got a movie, so you're right. So yeah, Howard Duck runs into Tim Robbins' character and frees him from the cop car. After Tim Robbins tries to jump out of the window, Howard just opens the door like, yeah, bro, you can just open the door. And they get onto his flying contraption thing, which I feel was big in the 80s and 90s, because you see this a lot in these movies back then.
The plane?
Yeah, whatever this thing is, yeah. And they attempt to steal it, but before they do, they cut to Jennings and Beverly, and they're on a road trip right now. A little buddy duo comedy, haha. No, he's getting tired. He's trying to find power because Dark Overlords need power to survive. And they go to a nuclear power plant. So this is why there's like 40 minutes left of this movie, because there's so much shit that goes on in this.
Yeah, I mean, let's just sum this up real quick. Jennings is going to the power plant with Beverly trapped in a car, and Howard's on the plane with Tim Robbins while the cops chase him. And then for the next 20 minutes, you got them two alternating back and forth.
Literally 20 minutes of a dumb plane chase, and then Jennings just sucking power out of a nuclear power plant. I don't know why it took 20 minutes for that to happen, but it took 20 minutes. And it was just like, why is it still going on? And
essentially, in the energy plant, Beverly's tied up like who's... Like, what's his name? God, the guy that Dick Dastardly ties up the girls on the train tracks.
Yeah, she's tied up like in rope and all that, gagged and all. Like, why do you even bring her in then? Why not just tie her up in the?
Because he needs the machine to put a demon inside her.
Yeah, but it's a whole different power plant, though. He brought her into the power plant to tie her up.
I thought they brought him back to the lab.
No. It was the power plant.
Maybe the power plant was the lab?
No, it's a different building. Totally different place.
Oh, but because it looks like that's the same machine, though.
No, because he's a visitor at this place. They didn't know who he was. So he goes into a power plant, opens a door.
No, it is because he had access... He used his credentials to access the machines.
No, you're not right. So no, because remember, after this power plant, they leave and they get into this inspection area, remember?
No.
I'm watching it right now. I'm watching the movie right now. It's just how long of a sequence that is, how long and useless that is.
I have the movie playing too, and it's over right now on mine.
Is it really over?
It's over. The credits are playing.
Oh, I'm pausing mine. But literally, they're at the power plant, nuclear power plant facility. He goes in, opens the door, sucks some energy out, goes back to the trucker.
Oh, yes. I see what you're talking about.
You remember, right?
Because they stop there.
Yes.
And do it, and then they go back to the lab.
Yes.
Right.
And while they're still doing this, there's a whole plane sequence they're coming back and forth too, which I'll ignore because nothing happens. They're just flying around like, oh, we're gonna crash. Oh, we didn't. Oh, we're gonna crash again. Oh, we did. Like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Huh? This is enthralling.
Yeah, and it reveals that the Overlord guy has tentacles and sucks energy out of the truck and stuff. Yeah, let's get to the finale here.
They get to
I do want to mention one thing in the plane sequence. Howard does get his revenge on the duck hunters.
Yeah, he pushes them off a boat because they're duck hunting right now. And he says, "Death to all duck hunters from above." Huh.
Yeah, and then the plane gets damaged and so forth. So essentially, they all end up at the power plant. They all converge, essentially.
Yes. Truck.
Yeah, we're in the final thing. We're at the lab now.
No, I want to get to the sequence real quick. Like, they stop at an air pollution smog test thing for some reason, and he is a line of cars. This is where he does a tentacle thing to freak out Beverly. I keep wanting to call her Elizabeth. I do not know why. And then he just zaps the cars in front of him. They all blow up. He says a smog pun and starts driving away. I just want to say that for to say it. And now we get to the boss fight in the main facility.
Well, first I got to get the neutron. What is it called?
It's neutron. You wrote this down too.
The neutron disintegrator.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. That's definitely noteworthy.
Which is just a model gun that looks like.
Yes. I was running out a lot during this fight scene, but apparently Howard's on a little what's that thing called?
It's a car thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, tram car. He's got to put his seatbelt on because, buckle up for safety, guys. And just has like a laser battle. Not even a laser, but like a laser off.
So the Overlord transforms into his final form. What's his final form?
Well, first, yeah, he Howard knocks out Jennings, and then they separate. Jennings is safe and fine and alive, and the Overlord's like a big claymated scorpion rancor creature-looking thing.
Yeah, it's ugly CGI. It's not very good.
No, it's not. I think it was beautiful, honestly. It wasn't.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was writing down, actually, this. It's not CGI, it's claymation, how they would do, like, Jason the Argonauts. And
oh, was it claymation? I thought it was CGI, but I don't know anything.
But it was so smooth.
I'm doing bird puns for the last hour and 20 minutes.
I know. Like, the end of the claymation, like, was so smooth and, like really good, actually, for what it was. Like,
but it looked fake.
Oh, yeah, I will give you that. You can tell it was fake because the lighting was off from what the movie was. So I say, yeah, this thing's not there. But, like, the movement was great. It just felt like it could be there if it was lit better. Like, to me, it was like the best way. It was like the best claymation I've seen for a movie. I was like, okay, I'm cool with this. Because it's still bad, but not repulsive. Like, I've seen worse CGI than this, honestly.
Yeah, I guess. In the comic adaptation,
yeah,
the final transformation was Jennings turning into a giant duck.
You're joking.
I thought it would. Nope, it should have been a giant duck. I thought it would have been much better.
Into a giant, like a human duck, like an earthling duck, or like his duck?
An anthropomorphic, giant, muscle-bound duck.
Muscle? You gotta send me a picture of that. I'm curious. That's hilarious. But anyways, they have their battle. He's summoning like 3 or 4 more Dark Lords, and then Howard zaps him as well, and he just mystifies into electricity beams, and Howard wins. What's up?
Howard saves the day with disintegration.
But oh no, there's a conundrum. Howard must destroy the tractor beam and be stuck on Earth, or let it be taken over and just get up. But he blows up the tractor beam and says pretty much, "Goodbye, Duck World. Hello, Earth, human world." He doesn't say that, but he pretty much says it.
He's got a girlfriend, so I think he's okay.
Yeah, he says that, like, you're the reason I want to stay or something like that, which is really creepy. But whatever. No, I was thinking, actually, while watching this movie, he could have let those guys come in and just, zap them as well, since it was so easy to kill the big one, right?
Well, they would have taken over Beverly's body.
Not really.
That was the idea. They can't survive without a body or something like that.
Well, how about he zaps them, Beverly and Robbins, they get out of the body like this thing did, and then zap them.
Yeah, but you don't know if Jennings got lucky and his body didn't get disintegrated. He could have accidentally killed her or something.
That's fine. That's fair.
Movie logic.
Yes. And then that's the end of the movie. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
No, it's not. Howard hits the big time.
Yeah, he's not producer. He's a manager for the band now. And, of course, like every 80s movie of a band, and it ends with a band song. And what song does it end with? The Howard the Duck song. And it's so enjoyable. Not really. It's terrible. It's awful.
It's terrible. It's a terrible song.
But yeah, Howard does some shenanigans on stage. He actually gets a guitar and starts shredding it up with Beverly. And then credits start rolling. And that's the movie.
And that's how it ends.
Yes, that's Howard the Duck for you, ladies and gentlemen. That's
the end.
Yes. So, what you think of that, TJ, the review of the movie?
The movie?
Yes.
It wasn't a very good movie.
No, not at all.
I had a better time reviewing it than I did watching it.
I could tell you were having a blast right now. Dumbass bird funds. But like, me personally, I don't know about you. I've never seen this movie because I've for the first 30 years of my life, people always just trash and bash. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna waste my time watching it. So I thought it'd be garbage. Then watching it, I was like, it's not that bad. It's definitely not good, but it's not that bad.
I saw it as a kid, and it's about what I remember.
Yeah. Did you have fond memories of it as a kid?
No, not really.
No. Were you just as critical as a kid?
It was just a movie. It was just a movie I saw back then as a kid.
That's fair. Did you like this more or no?
It didn't leave much of an impression on me one way or another.
No, that's fair. It's funny because there's so much that happens in this movie, from the plane chase to Howard and his planet, Howard on this planet. Like, there's so much that happens, but it's so much that's forgettable too.
All it made me do is made me curious about the comics.
Yes, Honestly, yeah. When I was watching, I wonder if that's in the comics. I wonder if they do this better in the comics. I wonder if that's not in the comics. Yeah.
As it is, it's meh.
So, what's a meh to you rating-wise? How would you give this movie?
Yeah, this is a 4.
You gave this a 4 out of 10?
Yeah. Because it's not worse than Supergirl.
That's very fascinating, because I also, this is the first time we actually end up in the same number. I also gave this a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, and you gave Supergirl a 3.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. That one was dumb. This one is bad, but it's like not atrocious. It's not.
This is what I thought this was on level of Supergirl.
Really?
So,
at least this movie had continuous stupidity in it.
This was just as ridiculous as that one was.
Oh, you kidding me?
Except that one, the Supergirl's problem had the problem that it was a Superman movie. And they had the Superman trappings. If you take out the Superman stuff out of the Supergirl, it would be just as crazy as ridiculous as this was.
I think if it wasn't for the Superman parts in that movie, that would be a better rating for me. I probably gave it a 5, honestly.
It would have been just a ridiculous, crazy movie. But yeah, I mean, that's why that one had more of an identity crisis, like you were saying about this one earlier, than this one did.
Yeah, that one definitely identity crisis.
But they're on par for me.
That's fair. I think this one just edges out more because it's less. I could probably recommend this one more to someone than Supergirl.
I mean, I wouldn't rewatch it.
No, never. Never. I didn't say that, TJ.
So, take that for what it is.
I can see people watching this in a group setting, maybe, and like drinking, like not even because like it's nothing to like retain from this movie.
I don't know.
That's how I feel about that. Just a good old yawn. But how did I do, TJ? As my first time.
I don't know. Tell these people to go quack themselves and let's get the hell out of here.
Well, you heard them. Go quack yourselves, egg suckers. Hello, and welcome to Movies in Us. I'm Marcus. Let's do that again. Hold on, my chair cracked. Okay, I'm fat. See, you hear that? I don't like that.
Who cares? Okay, whatever.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Movies on Us. I'm Marcus.
And I'm DJ.
No, let's do it again. I forgot the episode 10. God damn it. I don't like your method, TJ.
You should probably cut all this out and then put it at the end of it.
Maybe, we'll see.
Quack, 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 quack.